Good morning, seniors. Welcome to the final lesson of the year. We're actually going to talk about Chapter 10 of Animal Farm today. So if you go to page 127, that's where everything starts. And also concludes, I guess. In Chapter 10, we have years passing by. Seasons came and went, short animal lives flying by. Notice that at this point in time, we've got almost everyone who had lived prior to the rebellion has died. So memories of life before that has officially vanished. Nobody knows anything about, Farmer Jones and his leadership themselves, okay, besides what they're being told, okay? Some animals that had previously lived on the farm have been forgotten as well, such as, Snowball and Boxers. So, who are they? We don't know anymore, okay? So we do have that going on. We also have, the farm seeming to do very well, but I think that kind of depends on who you ask. Let me read this to you. On page 129, it says, somehow it seemed as though the farm had grown richer without making the animals themselves any richer, except, of course, for the pigs and the dogs. So they're the ones that benefit from how well the farm is doing, and everybody else is suffering, okay? Another thing that's happening on the farm, or I guess didn't happen, was retirement. At the beginning when they led the rebellion, they were wanting that to be established so that animals, once they've done their duties, they've worked for so many years, they could actually rest before dying. That never became a thing. Another thing that's significant is that most of the animals living on the farm are actually pretty stupid. A passage that reflects this is when it says, none of them proved to be able to learn the alphabet beyond the letter B. They accepted everything that they were told about the rebellion and the principles of animalism, though it was doubtful that they understood much of it. That was actually on page 128. This is exactly what Napoleon wanted. If the animals have forgotten about the past and they're never educated, no one's going to oppose him. Okay, so keeping them down is good for somebody like him, good for a dictator. But, notice the animals' attitude about everything on the farm. It says that, if they were hungry, it was not from feeding tyrannical human beings. If they worked hard, at least they worked for themselves. No creature among them went upon two legs. No creature called any other creature master. All animals were equal. They believed that. Do you agree with this statement? Probably not. Because again, even though they're not feeding tyrannical human beings, even though they're not supporting tyrannical human beings, they're supporting tyrannical animals, okay? Because that's clearly what Napoleon is like. They're not working for themselves. They're working for the pigs. They're working for the dogs. And another thing that I want to point out to you is that it says, no creature among them went upon two legs. At least we don't have that happening. Which leads me to the next thing that occurs in chapter 10. Is that we have the pigs officially learning to walk on two legs, okay? For the longest time, the commandments, remember, were reduced down to one single thing, which was 4 legs good, 2 legs bad. And now we have the animals walking on 2 legs. And the animals, even though everyone else doesn't think so, they're bad, okay? This is a complete departure, remember, from the original commandments, and it's a shocking development for everyone else that's seeing this, okay? Remember, it's a distinctly human characteristic. The pigs are also adopting other human-like behaviors, such as wearing clothes, listening to the radio, smoking pipes, carrying whips. All are human ways, okay? Human vices. So they've clearly become the very thing that they rebelled against. Another thing is that Benjamin, remember the clearly educated one, the intellectual, does remember something about the commandments and goes to investigate what the barn wall says, because that's where, remember, the commandments are written. And when he goes there, he discovers that the commandments have completely changed. In fact, they've changed and have been reduced to one rule, or one principle, which was that all animals are equal, but some are more equal than others. This is, again, hugely representative of how far that they've departed from equality. So now we are all not equal. The nonsensical nature of this sort of signifies the complete corruption of the farm and, the ability that those in power have to manipulate and to confuse, to deceive, and to brainwash those that follow them, One final thing that I have to discuss with you about chapter 10 before we kind of wrap things up is at the very end, we have the pigs and the humans interacting and socializing. And the way that Orwell writes this is pretty interesting to me, because it says, you know, on page 139, 12 voices were shouting in anger, and they were all alike. No question now what had happened to the faces of the pigs. The creatures outside looked from pig to man, and from man to pig, and from pig to man again, and already it was impossible to say which was which. So you can't tell the difference between the two. They're so alike, you can't tell them apart. So this is the unfortunate ending to the novel, the sad and dismal state of things there, that again, they've kind of come right back around and have become exactly what they didn't want to happen. So anyway, that concludes chapter 10, and I hope you enjoyed the novel as much as I do. It's really nice to read something like this. You know, this book does stand the test of time, that it's applicable in today's society, and you know, I love it for that. So anyway, if you have questions, just shoot me an email and I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can. So anyway, hopefully you guys enjoy your summer, and you know, congratulations on graduating. See ya.